Hey, I just received the Valor Añejo, and I can't wait to try it out tonight. So stick around. Really fired up here on Tasting Tequila with Brad to get to talk about one of my favorite tequilas, one of my favorite really tequila brands, and one of my favorite people that I've met in the tequila business. Cristiana Morantanz is the owner of this fantastic Valor Añejo and Blanco. I had a repo, but I drank it all. I got to get another one. But I wanted to talk about this brand a little bit and really talk about how it's made and where it's made. It's made at NOM 1599. Which is the Atamasio Distillery located just outside of the town of Tequila. And it's a small distillery. This isn't anything like some of the brands that we know that are punching out a lot of tequilas. These guys are only punching out 3 brands, and they're all very small batch. I'm going to have a picture of their roller mill. It's a very small roller mill. So when you look at the way that they're doing their cooking, they're using a low pressure autoclave to cook their lowland agaves. And a lot of people think, oh no, an autoclave. These guys are doing it low and slow. You can utilize the pressure in an autoclave to be very much like a stone or brick oven, and you don't have to cook it super fast. So these guys are cooking it for a longer amount of time than you would in a high pressure autoclave, and really letting that agave create those carbohydrates that break down into the amazing sugars that we love in tequila. Then they go through, it's a very small roller mill, and they do several passes through this small roller mill. And then they're putting this tequila into open air fermentation tanks. They're utilizing stainless steel tanks for fermentation, and they are doing it just open air. Whatever is coming around from their area, whatever microbes were on those agaves when they cooked them and crushed them, that's the yeast that's going to make this fantastic tequila. Now, they do let it sit a little bit longer in fermentation than some places, which gives it this little bit more of a what they call a malolactic smell or taste. It's a little bit of a cheesiness to it, and it creates a real rich flavor in the tequila. So it's really good. Somebody say, oh, it's cheesy. You know, that doesn't sound super pleasing, but believe it or not, the way this tequila is made, it brings out all of these phenomenal flavors and adds this richness to it. That's one of the things I like so much about it. Cristiana is having these tequilas rested in American oak barrels. So you've got a great añejo here that is rested for at least a year in white American oak. And let's give it a nose. So you do get that malolactic smell, a real earthiness, and a lot of minerals. And this is more so than the first time I had it. I've had it open here for a little while and let it breathe and rest. And so I definitely get a little bit more of that than I did the first time. And I'm also getting a little bit more of the barrel in this. I'm getting a little bit of a vanilla and a little bit of caramel, nothing overbearing. I still can get, a good cooked agave in there too. You can kind of smell the sweetness in it. I pick up a little bit of oak and maybe a little bit of cinnamon, or at least some kind of spice in there that's really, really pleasant as well. Let's give it a taste. It definitely has a nice citrus to it, and you get all of that earthiness and those mineral tastes in there with a nice cooked agave. And again, like I said, it's a medium mouthfeel, so it's like a medium body to it. But you do get this richness in it, almost like a buttery richness that just makes this taste so good to me. Let's take another taste. That sweetness kind of reminds me of like a creme brulee, like a burnt sugar a little bit. That is fantastic. And I get a little bit of vanilla in the finish with a little bit of a peppery finish with a kind of a cinnamon spice or a cinnamon kind of burn, if you will, how cinnamon kind of burns down a little bit. And it's got a really long finish. That is just a really great tequila. Everything Cristiana does, she does it with purpose. When she is designing the bottles and the label, there's a purpose behind all of this. And the hummingbird has a fantastic story that you can find in the video that I did when I recorded the interview with Cristiana. I'll link this video to it so you can check it out here on YouTube. Just a fantastic story. And this is a person with a rich history in business, worked with Disney for many years before she left and started her own non-for-profit called Do Goodery. And they are a big non-for-profit that helps companies create better corporate responsibility programs. And herself decided, okay, I'm not only going to show that I can show companies how to do this and how to do good. I'm going to step up myself and find a business that I can create where I'm going to show that I can do what I teach other companies to do. And she did just that. When she's seen how a lot of the money that tequila produces in Mexico doesn't stay with the small villages and trickle down to the people that make this beautiful product, and it leaves the country, she decided, okay, this is going to be my thing. I'm going to start a tequila company, and I'm going to do it with a social awareness that's going to help the people that are making this tequila. And she found that there's a small town just outside of the Atamasio distillery where a lot of the people work at Atamasio. And she found that they didn't have running water. Water came when it came, delivered by a truck, and you had to be there to get the water. And if you weren't there, you didn't have water. And if you didn't have enough storage for the water, you didn't get enough. So she started the Gente Buena Foundation, which is currently working to bring cisterns to every single home in that town. It affects about 70 families that'll bring running water to their house and also help remove the gray water that runs in the streets in some of those areas. So, like I said, a brand with a purpose and an intention to not only bring a super high quality product to everybody here that loves tequila, but also with a purpose of helping those that make this product. So, I want to say thanks to Christiana for all the work that she does. Thanks to putting in so much effort to not only do great things, but bring a absolutely high quality, amazing tequila to people who love tequila. Us tequila people love this. It's very complex. It has a lot of flavors, and it is definitely somebody that's learning about tequila will be able to taste the difference from this to another tequila and really find some new complex flavors that are really fun. It's a fun thing to dig into some of these. So, Christiana, thanks very much. I will have all of the information where you can get Valor Tequila, also where you can follow them on all of their social media. Also, there'll be a link to the foundation where if you want to donate a little bit, $5, $10, any of that helps. It helps in a much bigger way in Mexico than it does in the States. If you could kind of feel that to be able to help those people and help this foundation, that is fantastic. Those links will all be in the description of the video. And thanks again for tuning in and watching another tequila review. Have a great night.